OHA class. So we're doing direct materials and direct labor variances over here. They produce a toy called Maze, Dawson Toys. They have a standard cost system. Direct materials, this is their standard, so right, these are standard costs. Then these will refer to what actually happened. Right, so during July, the company produced 3,000 Maze toys. Production data for the month the toy follows. Direct materials, 25,000 microns were purchased at a cost of 0.48 per micron. 5,000 of these were still in inventory at the end of the month. So
where does this come?
So they purchased 25,000, but 5,000 are still left over. So they didn't use the full 5,000, the full 25,000. They probably used the difference between those two for production. So again, 25,000 microns purchased, while 25,000 less the 5,000 were actually used. Right, it's because they still had 5,000 left over. They must have used 20,000 microns used. In production. Okay, so there's still an inventory. Direct labor, 4,000 direct labor hours were worked at a cost of $36,000. Compute the variances, direct materials price and quantity variance. And so, yeah, producing the 3,000 Maze toys. Let's do that. 3,000 Maze toys in production. Right, so they used 20,000 in production, 20,000. So if we were doing our AA, SSS, QP. Oh, I don't know why I keep doing Z. Q, P, Q, P, Q, P. Okay, so let's start with this side. Let's look at our quantity variance, right? So let's disregard these ones for a second. We're just going to look at quantity variance. So they said that they didn't use the full 25,000 microns that were purchased. They only used 20,000 microns for production because they had 5,000 left over. Standard price per micron would be, so remember this is on a total amount, sorry, 20,000. This is on a total quantity amount, and this is on a price amount per micron, 50 cents per micron, 50 cents per micron. 6 microns per toy are needed. How many toys did they make? 6 microns per toy times it by 3,000 is what they actually used in production. So that would be 18,000 microns that they're going to need for this, or that's the standard quantity. We get that on a total basis, 6 microns per toy. They're making 3,000 toys. Remember, there's a little math in there, and so this is the standard, and this is what they actually use. So this is going to be an unfavorable, right? They used 2,000 microns more, times it by 50.5 per micron, so it looks like it'd be $1,000 variance. We could double check that using our, timesing, right? And we know it's unfavorable because they used more microns than the standard, right? And so over here we would have 1,000 quantity variance unfavorable, or just a U, because we used more than expected. Okay, let's move over to the other side, and we'll do our actual quantity times it by our actual price, right? And now we're looking for a price variance. So over here, remember they purchased 25,000 microns purchased, and they purchased it at a cost of 0.48 microns, right? So standard price is still 0.5 from above. Standard price 0.5 microns. They bought it, I'll move this down. they bought it for 0.4, I believe, 0.4 per micron, and they bought 25,000 microns for this, right? So they bought more than they produced, right? They used 20,000 in production, but they bought 25,000. So actual quantity that they are buying, 25,000. So remember, this is the one kind of trick. Remember, our price variance is what we actually buy, while our quantity variance is what we actually use in production, and so it can be a different number. So you need to change actual quantity and standard price to cater to those variances. So over here, it looks like we're going to be in a favorable position. This is the price we should have paid. This is the price that we actually did pay. Maybe we got a discount. Maybe we got a killer deal because we were, buying so many microns. So that could be the reason for the variance. Over here, the variance, a possibility for this variance for unfavorable, maybe they bought discounted microns, and so they weren't as high quality, so they had an unfavorable variance there. Yeah, probably maybe just poor quality, or maybe it was just too strict of a standard. They didn't allow for enough rejects, or not usable material, things like that. So let's calculate these ones together. Oops, sorry. This one times by this one, and I can move that formula over here. So over here we knew it was going to be a favorable variance because they paid less. Favorable price variance. And if you wanted a total variance, it would be 1,000 unfavorable, 5,000 favorable, and so it would be 500 unfavorable in total if you needed a total variance. And again, you can check this 500 by doing 25,000 times it by the difference in price, and it's going to be favorable. Or sorry, if you wanted to do it this way, remember, if it's negative, then it's favorable because you paid less than you were expecting. You paid less than you were expecting. So we're done for the price and quantity variances. I'll start the next video for the direct labor and efficiency variances.